All right, Keith, we were just talking about the slopes. Obviously, some good news to have this snow, but this next storm might not be so great for them.
Yeah, they're gonna get some snow. The problem is we got everything else coming at us at the same time. So this storm has a lot of different modes going on. Here's a look at it. That's a good-looking storm wrapped up in through Oklahoma, and we've got a severe weather threat down into Louisiana. And so this is kind of a classic-looking system. The issue for us is that this is going to be an inside runner storm, meaning the low itself will go to the west. And so instead of cleanly snow like our last system yesterday, this is going to be snow to rain for the vast majority of us. We'll also introduce wind into this because of that low. Look at the low. It's way out there towards Toronto. You're not going to be able to hold snow when the low is that far west, which is the situation we're dealing with tomorrow night into Wednesday. We're going to spend most of our time talking about that, but I don't want to neglect the fact that tonight and tomorrow are quiet. There's not a whole lot going on. It's in the teens and single digits. Tonight we'll refreeze some of the snow that we melted. Tomorrow we cloud up from southwest to northeast. Temperatures between 25 and 30 for most of us. Because of that, when this precipitation first arrives tomorrow night, looks like it's around 7 o'clock. I think it's snow everywhere, including the coast. I know this model doesn't show that, but that's our job, is to sometimes override the models. I think it'll be a wet snow right off the bat, even along the coastline, and it will add up to a couple inches. I'll show you that map in a second. But with that southeast flow off the water, because the low is way back here, we start driving warm air in, and it starts pushing us over to rain pretty efficiently. So by 2 a.m. Wednesday morning, we've got that rain snow line into Lewiston, and by the true morning, 5 or 6 o'clock, only the mountains are hanging on to snow, and northern Maine, even that we might end as a little bit of rain. The rest of us are seeing heavy rain, temperatures in the upper 40s to around 50, and gusty winds. Good news, the storm moves pretty quickly out of here. By midday into the afternoon, this system is done, but we're going to get a lot of trouble in between there. So we're going to start with the snowfall map. Good news for the skier is this is a net gainer for them. If you're in the 6 to 12 contour, or certainly the 12 plus contour, you will net gain snow from this. Even though it might be a little rain at the end, you're going to gain snow overall. By the way, quick side note, this bullseye legitimately could be 2+ feet. We didn't want to get too cute there though. If you're in this zone, 3 to 6 or 1 to 3 along the coastline, this is the snow that's going to fall first, then rain's going to come on top of it and melt that snow, plus a lot of the snow that we got from yesterday. And that's where we've got a problem, I think, across the interior and along the coast, is we're going to see 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain, and then we're going to be melting snow. Liquid equivalent of the snow, ballpark here, 3/4 of an inch to an inch. So now you put that all together and you have rainfall amounts, liquid amounts at least, in excess of 3 inches, frozen ground, snow on the ground, storm drains that are clogged. All of that is bad for flooding, and that's why we have flood watches in effect along the coastline and across the interior. And the last threat, but not the least for sure, is the wind. Southeast wind. We've just done this recently, right? That's a bad wind direction for us. We're looking at wind gusts between, I'd say, 50 and 60 miles an hour along the coastline. Some of the islands here into down East Maine could go over 60 miles an hour, so I think we will have power outages. That will happen mostly late Tuesday night into early Wednesday. And then this storm is the same storm, right? No, it's a different storm. Saturday, we've got the same thing again. So this is a kind of a wild period of weather for us guys. I'd much rather have storms that are snow back to back. But nobody asked me. This is what it is. It is quiet on Thursday and Friday. I believe the power outages should be less. I mean, last time we had 450,000, is that right? Something like that. It should be less than that, but it's going to be definitely over 100 to 150, I'd say pretty easily. And then the flooding is going to be a problem because people who lose power, their sub pumps in their basements wouldn't work. Right. So it's a little late. If there's anything you can do, some of the sub pumps you can run on a battery backup, on a marine battery. If you've got one of those houses, you might want to try to do something about that if you can.
Sounds like the only silver lining here is the timing. Give a lot of daylight hours for the crews to work on those things if they need to.
Yep, and before the next storm, yes.
Okay, all right, thanks Keith.